Hey there, kiddo! It's your friendly neighborhood Mr. Kilmore here. And as professional wrestling's favorite TV dad, I suggest you go over and you watch the Monday Night Raw review with Gunmeister and Josh Joseph, as we call him, The Voice. Comes on at 7 p.m. and it is brought to you by In Your House and Window Lickers. And when you're done, go get some stank on your hang down. Are we still... Cut! Why are we still...
What's up, household? My name is Alakon the Concept House. These are my co-hosts, Hypocrisy Jones and The Voice, Josh Joseph. And we're getting ready to give you a banger of a podcast. That's the In Your House podcast. What's up, household? My name is Alakon the Concept House. These are my co-hosts, Hypocrisy Jones and The Voice, Josh Joseph. And we're getting ready to give you a banger of a podcast. That's the In Your House podcast.
Step into the ring, it's Monday Night Fire. My rhymes burning hotter than a funeral fire. I'm the heavyweight champ, you can call me sire. Reviewing raw like a southern rap messiah. Crossing over lines like I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Flipping opponents like I'm Randy Orton. Dirty South flow, my words they be costing. Every verse I drop got them head nodding. Spit lyrical punches like a ruthless fighter. Got the crowd hype, I'm the crowd igniter. Breaking down the raw matches, no denier. Dirty style rap, I'm the Monday night supplier.
Welcome, fans, friends, window lickers alike. Thank you for joining us for another Raw review. It's been about a month now that we've had my co-host Grunmeister on with me, and I feel like the show's been doing some fantastic shit. So, you know what? Without further ado, let me just bring him on right now because, well, he's my co-host. That's what we do. He is the Grun, the Meister of Grun, the Grun of the Meister. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I would say doing better than AEW and specifically Mercedes Moné. She got booed out of the arena.
She yeah.
Although it could have been because she was from Boston. It could be.
That's true.
That is a legitimate reason.
Very true, very true. And plus, she took a beating in that ring. There was one move I seen where her head just kept bouncing off the mat, and it was a very provocative way too. So, I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying with the AEW.
I take shots at them, but but I want them to make a better product. I want to be happy with their product, okay?
Well,
Because if they
it's like
close down,
having that best friend. The
yeah,
you can poke fun at the best friend. Hey, you're looking a little fat today, and then you see him the next day, and he's dropped
yeah,
5 to 10 pounds.
yeah,
So you you
you would,
banished him into some type of healthier
yeah.
lifestyle. So that's okay. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to get you better, Tony Khan. So we know you listen. We see you in the chats. You don't actually listen. It'd be nice if you did. We could probably talk about some things. But here we are. It's another Monday night. Grun, you just had a weekend. How was your weekend, my friend?
My weekend was good. It was nice, relaxing. I played some of the new DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree.
Yes.
Got to the end. My God, this game is brutal. It is. There are a lot of people complaining about the game, like, oh, it's the DLC. It's too difficult. It's like, dude, you never. This is your first game, isn't it? This is your first. This is your first Soulsborne game, isn't it? This is not the hardest. It's hard. It's not the hardest. What's up, Robert?
Yes, Robert. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I when I heard that you were getting the DLC, I waited a couple days and then I tried to find people who'd already beaten the game,
Yeah,
and I was gonna try to, give you some spoilers, but
right.
you kind of actually beat me to the punch. So, you win. You win, Grun.
Yeah, but how was your weekend, Josh?
My weekend was fantastic. Like we have house coming in. What a weekend we had, boys. That is true. Fans, I'm gonna gloat here for a moment because I really I got to accomplish a true childhood dream of wrestling. I got to sit down and speak to Bill Alfonso directly. And the reason I really like follow Bill Alfonso is because I had a close group of cousins who would have we would have kicked the family dog to get the next ECW tape. That's how addicted we were to ECW. And every time we watched, Bill Alfonso was a spectacle. And he really never had to get in the ring. He never really had to have like an actual match. And it made us laugh because we always had this joke because one of our aunts, when she would hear his whistle, she would just get so annoyed and she'd be like, who the fuck takes a whistle to a wrestling match? We're like, Bill Alfonso, daddy. And she hated the fact that we called her daddy. But um this weekend really meant a lot, like professionally for me. It really showed that the team that we have joined up with, Grun, is really amazing and really like top level at what they do. I mean, we had Jones producing the whole thing. He set up the whole set, put the ladder in there. We had all the mics, had all the video equipment. Um, House had the connections and the charisma backstage. Like it's Grun. I'm telling you, if we can ever make it happen, we all need, and you, to go to a live show and just do some backstage stuff. And I'm telling you right now, Grun, you would lose your mind. I was fanboying out. It was like, oh man, it was so awesome. And at the very end of the interview with Alfonso, he shakes House's hand, he shakes Hypocrisy's, and he grabs me and hugs me, and he goes, "You guys are really good at this. Thank you." And then that was the end of it. I was I mean, we had a surprise by the Sandman in the middle of it. So when that when that drops, fans, I hope you really enjoy this. I really hope that you see the time that we put into this. I mean, I got to speak to OVW's Big Zoe for the first time, and that dude, like, we got to get him. I offered him a spot on the show for a guest spot for a Monday night, so we're gonna get him in here to talk. The guy who put it on, Scott, we're gonna get him. He's a part of Heated Shenanigans podcast. We're gonna get him on here for a guest spot. So we got a lot of irons in the fire right now, Grun, and it was just awesome. ECW for life, my friend.
Oh yeah. ECW was a huge part of wrestling history, and it's got to be remembered.
Yes. And yeah, House is also bringing this up. NWA's Misa Kate was awesome. She's definitely a up and coming female wrestler that people need to pay attention to in this area, because she had a fantastic match. It may not have worked out in the way that she wanted, but her energy, her presence during the interview, it made for the great interview. She really knows how to bring the interview towards her, but not like, like just her. But
Right.
she's very good at what she does. I didn't even see this one. Grun
Yeah.
is actually live.
From Meldon.
That's
Apparently, I'm
awesome.
still fired. I don't know if I'm going to be welcomed on the Sunday show.
No worries, Grun.
Alcon, can I please have my job back?
He's begging his house.
Pretty pleased with his cherry on top.
He just needs that job back. He's got mouths to feed.
Yeah, my mouth.
Awesome, Grun. So I'm glad we're all caught up. We fantastic weekend for content, fantastic weekend for wrestling. But like every Monday, something brings us to this venture, and I think it's Monday Night Raw, Grun. Why don't you get us started, and let's get going with your topic, Grun.
All right. We had Damian Priest come out to cut a promo on Seth Rollins, talk about how he respects Seth Rollins, how he was very much looking forward to this challenge. But at the same time, Damian thinks that he doesn't want to be like Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, or at least what Damian Priest is implying is that, or rather straight out saying, is that he's better than Seth Rollins in every way. He's bigger, he's taller, he's stronger. And Seth Rollins, he decided to come back out. He gave Damian some respect, but said he didn't like how he got upstage. So Seth Rollins made a gentleman's agreement wager. If Seth Rollins loses, he can't challenge for the title while Damian Priest is champion. However, if Damian Priest loses, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. Damian Priest responds, "The Judgment Day needs me more than I need them." Which makes things very interesting how he said something very heelish while Seth Rollins is in the ring dressed like Cruella DeVille. Almost forgot about that comment. Needed to put it in. First off, he's turning heel, and apparently he's gonna have a faction, is the rumor. Which is going to be interesting. But now, I don't know what they're doing, because the Judgment Day split has definitely been, it's definitely on the horizon. It's happening. I just don't think anyone really knows how it's going to happen. And this could be it. This could be the first step to it. I don't know, because as much as I think this win could do a lot for Damian, and you can kind of sell the Damian Priest versus Gunther match where Damian needs to teach Gunther something, so teach the numbers game. How Gunther doesn't have really the numbers game anymore. How Ludwig kind of does his own thing, and Gunther stays out of Ludwig's business. So they don't use Imperium doesn't have the numbers, and they don't use the numbers advantage anymore. So Damian Priest could teach him that.
That's very true.
At the same time, 99.99% of us want to see Gunther as WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
That's true. That's 100% true.
We're just not sure when. I know I'm not sure if this is the right time, but I know I want to see it. I just don't know when.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I believe this has been a kind of like a a subject that we've talked about multiple times here with each other, and it's when's Judgment Day gonna eventually dissolve. What's up, Hypocrisy Jones? There he is, Hypocrisy Jones. Check out all the things he does. There's so much, and I would love to talk about it right now, but we are in the middle of Raw, so let's go. Let's play in this world. So you said that Seth is going heel.
Yeah.
Okay. And that there's rumors that he could have a faction with him, correct?
Yes. Yes, that is the rumor.
What other faction would you put Seth Rollins in?
Could
they be coming back?
The Shield?
Oh, what else faction would Seth Rollins and his goofy ass look actually decent in? Come on. I love Seth Rollins. He's a fucking gem.
Yeah.
Love the dude. He's the reason I watch Raw. But I don't see him leading any other faction than besides the Brotherhood known as the Shield. And come on.
I mean, like, it sounds interesting, but my brain can't bring John Moxley into WWE without bringing Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Bryan Danielson.
Do we need Bryan Danielson though?
As backstage coach, sort of teacher role, because he's got a hard time staying healthy nowadays. And it's
you are right.
But I mean, to be fair, it's because he has been so willing his entire career to nearly kill himself every time he's in that ring to put on the best match he can.
Well, there was that time period where his neck would not allow him to. So maybe he's making up for lost time.
Yeah, exactly.
I really don't like the positions that AEW puts. Oh my God. Jones just said something that just kind of
interesting.
Derailed everything I was going to say.
That is interesting.
Whoa. So, okay, Jones, let me ask you, since you brought this up, how do we get there? I mean, I am all for it because I believe that Malachi, I believe he should be in the WWE, especially right now. I'm wearing a House of Black shirt right now. I mean, I absolutely love everything that he does. But again, like you just brought up, if you bring back God, what the Dean Ambrose. I'm just gonna say that name because I remember Dean Ambrose. If you bring him back, you want Yuta, you want Danielson and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm bringing over Malachi, I want Buddy Matthews.
Yes.
I want Julia Hart with him.
Yes.
And if you're gonna put Seth Rollins in a faction with those names, here's my money. I have credit cards coming in the mail. You can have those two because just, oh my God, Jones, what the fuck? You just come in here and do a drive-by and just shoot up an amazing idea. We got House of Green with you. Well, let me back that up. He's saying madness. The whole House of Black needs to be in the.
Absolutely.
I believe you said this in the chat sometime a few days ago that the House of Black all. Because I brought up something about Buddy Matthews and Malachi coming, and I wanted
they confirmed that it was just Malachi and Buddy.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I would definitely like to hear that Julia Hart has not renewed a new contract yet, and that she's planning on leaving as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because like. It feels like some of these AEW originals are being thrown under the bus by Tony Khan because, look, new shiny toy. And I think Dijak has. I saw an article. I didn't, but apparently Dijak is on his way to AEW. Apparently that is happening.
I seen him at a house show, not of AEW, but of an indie show,
Okay.
and he was going pretty ham in the ring on a promo. I didn't pay attention to the whole thing. He seemed kind of amped up, and I do like watching the wrestlers and all what they do, but when they're emotional about some stuff, I tend not to watch it until we have the full story, just because I want to get the overall view of it and not just this one little view that they're trying to push me down.
Right.
But the interesting idea of bringing over Jesus Christ,
I just Jones. It's Jones. It's always Jones, isn't it? I think I'm learning this.
All right, fans. So this is no shade to anybody, but Tony Khan is just Vince McMahon with autism. Jones, you have officially made it to the show. You have officially gotten, we got to give him a drop for that one. I mean, that was that was a perfect. You know what? You're getting the Cam Patterson drop.
And I didn't want to follow him around the corner because I knew he was going to blow crack dust in my face. And if y'all did not know, that's how you make crackheads.
See, you follow Jones and his crazy antics, and you might become a crackhead, because these are some great things. Like, I mean, I'm honestly, the House of Black comment, Jones, it really brings forth the idea that House of Black is doing fantastic work.
Yeah.
And if a fan like Hypocrisy Jones wants to bring them out of AEW and put them in with Seth freaking Rollins, that's not a bad idea. And that's not a horrible way to get the WWE crowd behind it. A House of Black faction.
No, and the idea of a House of Black House Rules match, like I now I know how they presented it. I'm like, you made it a joke when you could have said, okay, here's a stipulation. Who's in the match? Malachi and Buddy. You know what? No striking. You eliminate fist strikes and leg strikes, feet strikes. Eliminate the black mass kick. Say that is worthy of a disqualification if you hit your finisher. You're in a match against Brody King. Eliminate submission holds. So now you eliminate. So now, while Brody is still going to be able to beat the hell out of you, you eliminate the sleeper hold. It's like you could have gotten really creative with this and made stipulations that that handicapped the House of Black, but also gave you the opportunity to show. So, hey, Malachi's not just a striker. Buddy's not just some small powerhouse. And the Brody's not just some guy who likes to put people in sleeper holds. Like, these are fucking wrestlers. These guys can beat you in any way possible. That should have been the point of the House Rules match, to show these guys are badass motherfuckers.
Damn, I love it, Grun. Yeah, I agree with you. That House of Black match was a joke from AEW. Yeah. It wasn't what it could have been, and it wasn't what it should have been. I thoroughly believe that there's a couple things AEW did get right. I'm going to say the Dark Order. They got that one perfectly right. Yeah. Certain circumstances happened that you cannot foresee.
No.
And speaking of those circumstances, people, if you're out there and you enjoy shoes, there's a shoe out there right now for the Dark Order, for John himself, and his son. So go out there if you can. I know it's a Reebok shoe, but it's a really done well Reebok shoe. Go out there, try to find it, try to get it. It's a really yes, that new Brody Lee shoe. Yeah, go out there, check it out. I like it. I'm actually really trying to talk the wife into letting me get a pair. I'll keep them. I'll keep him back here. You know, I loved Brody Lee. I thought he was once he got out of the Wyatt family and he started his AEW descent, I really like the sky was the limit for him there in AEW. That was his, like, he walked in day one and it was like, I mean, just listen to the people behind backstage talk about him. And yeah, you got any Brody Lee things you want to say there, Grun?
I mean, like he was fantastic the second I saw him in AEW, in the role of um the Exalted One, how he was on screen on television, and then the segments on the Being the Elite show were fantastic. They were amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. And and then you, as a fan, like I didn't have as much of a personal connection to Brody Lee. I just really enjoyed his work.
Yeah.
But then you hear when he passed, you see how wrestlers from every single promotion are pouring their hearts out uh when WWE finally released because they wanted to do a really good video package. I know people give them heat for it, but they took their time because they wanted to give him a really good video package. And you see guys that he worked with that he was in the ring on TV, was across the ring from a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Time tearing up, bawling. This was a man that was beloved and was cherished by those around him.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's, oh god, now I'm getting teary.
No, I get you, man. I started when I was thinking about the shoe, and I was just thinking of that still image of Brody on the Titantron and his son in the mask holding the shoe.
Yeah.
It kind of, it gets to you, man.
No, yeah.
This isn't a this isn't like it was when we were kids where they hid a lot of the stuff. Now it's in your face, and
Yeah.
you actually grow to really enjoy these guys and the amount of work that they do put into the ring. And as fans, we grasp onto those moments. And just like in an interview I had with me and House had with Eric Dillinger, Public Enemy #1, one of the best death match wrestlers out there today. He pulled me aside at the beginning of my career in this industry at a show, and he was telling me about nothing in this industry is outside of moments. It's all just a collective of moments that make a bigger moment that people enjoy, and then you go on and you collect more moments. And that really stuck with me. And these guys do moments. I mean, the moment of Brody Lee backstage cussing and annihilating everybody, whatever, and hearing the laughter of the guys being thrown by him is something that we don't get to see. And
No.
we were getting to see glimpses of that, where it brought the human side to wrestling and backstage things. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think Brody Lee would have been another person they would have been bringing back into the WWE. He's just,
they probably would have tried to nab as many of the Dark Order members as possible too. Because they probably saw like dude like John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Evil, like as many of them as possible, because just all them together, they on accident really they made magic.
Yeah, you're 100% on that one. They did make magic with that. It was a fantastic thing. But I believe they got that right, and I believe they got House of Black right.
Absolutely.
And if we actually get a chance to have House of Black in the WWE, and then if we are even more fortunate enough that they team up with Seth freaking Rollins, I would thoroughly enjoy that.
That'd be very good. And so I do think I sort of agree with what Jones is saying here. I do believe that now Uno and Grayson, great tag team wrestlers. Every time I've seen them wrestle, like as a tag team, like, they're actually great. And Grayson all on his own is fantastic. Silver and Reynolds are a really good tag team, but it is the comedy stuff that they see that I think they collectively do really well together. So I wouldn't see them as like main eventers. They're definitely like mid card, but I think they would do all right. But I understand where Jones is coming from. I can see.
I do too. But I do think with having the advantages of having Raw, SmackDown, NXT,
Mhm.
Dark Order on NXT,
I think that would work really
definitely,
well.
yeah, I think it would bring a whole different light to NXT
Yeah,
in more of the, because right now NXT is just banging. They're putting out
it
some
is.
fantastic matches
Yeah,
and some fantastic promos, but they're lacking the comedy. I mean, like the humor aspect of
yeah.
it. There is a little bit here and there sprinkled out, but think about a Dark Order on NXT. You kind of have that levity in between the show when you can just throw them on Evil Uno taking a bath. That
I,
would be hilarious to me.
I'm like they just brought back Wendy Chu, who was
Yeah.
supposed to be a comedy character who always wanted to sleep during the match, basically, or whatever. And now she's nightmare of your dreams, ring girl, Wendy Chu.
I think the nightmare of my dreams in wrestling would have been Luna. Yeah, Luna Vachon.
Okay,
She was.
I don't think
Oh, you don't know her?
I don't think I know Luna Vachon.
Oh, I advise you to check her out. She was a chick who had, I think it might have been like lightning bolts, like
Okay,
actual, like if a lightning bolt vein type thing. She had that tattooed on the side of her head.
okay,
She was a a just ball of energy. She was a women's wrestler also, and she was definitely way before her time. Like
okay.
she was she really went in there and like did the thing. She didn't try to do the divas thing. They
Right.
forced her to. Um if I can suggest to you, if you are actually like interested in learning about her, the Dark Side of the Ring series from
Yeah.
Vice, they did an excellent documentary about her. And I would highly recommend it. She worked with some of the best wrestlers from the late 80s, early 90s, and she also was a fantastic sight to see in the ring herself. So yeah, she gave me scared boners. One of those where you're like, oh, what's going on down there?
Not
Luna did that to me.
don't think I've ever had one of those before.
Well, you don't live on the edge, Grun.
I guess not.
You stay safe back there.
Yeah, safe with my Cody Rhodes American Nightmare shirt.
Oh, look at it. Ooh, that's an all over print, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, I like that. That's a nice one. I was wondering what kind of shirt it was until you backed up. I was like, man, Grun's going all America on us today. You gotta love it.
I mean, hey, 4th of July is Thursday.
It is. It really is. And we got Money in the Bank this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of that, Jones, I messed up and was not able to switch over the stinger I made for your question over to the format that requires on this platform. But we had a question that got thrown into the chat, Grun, and I thought it might spark some good conversation going on here
Okay.
in the old chat for us on Monday night. Who do we see as Cody's next opponent? Now, let's just go into who Jones threw out to us. He had Solo on there. He had throw any out if you remember. Oh, here we go. Randy Orton, Jacob Fatu,
right.
and Kevin Owens. So out of those four, we have Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Kevin Owens. Who will be Cody Rhodes' SummerSlam opponent? And that is Hype's question of the day. So if you're out there in the chat and you have an opinion, we want to hear it. We want to know what you guys are thinking. We're going to give you our opinion and where we think it's going to go. But we definitely want to hear your guys' opinion. We want the household chat really going live on this one and letting us know what you guys think. So, Grun, out of those four names, who do you see most likely to become his opponent at SummerSlam?
My heart wants Randy Orton versus Cody. My head is also saying that like there's not really any way they can build that right now with Solo and his New Blood faction or Bloodline 2.0 saying their sights on Cody and the championship. So I don't think Solo Sikoa involved is out of the question. I think he will be involved. As for Jacob Fatu, like it's going to depend on like are WWE still dead set on making Solo or trying to make Solo the star of this? Because they held off on bringing Jacob in because they were afraid that fans would think the same thing that WWE thinks, is that Jacob is just a better version of Solo.
Yeah. I mean, it's been said. It's been said on these podcasts that we're a part of. And I really see it. I see it, but I also see what Paragon always talks about. And we're in the moment of molding Solo. We're in the middle of making him something. He wasn't, and like he always says, Roman never said when Solo's time was. He just said he would be, his time would be here.
Yes.
At some point. So like, and here, this always still sticks in my head. That embrace in the middle of the ring between Solo and Jacob. Jacob never embraced him. Jacob kept his hands at his side, and Solo is the only one who embraced in that group. I like it. I think that if you do what Jones is saying, and you put Jacob for his first match against Cody, you have to have Solo on the outside, and you have to have Solo directing and sounding like the leader that he should sound like. But I don't think it would be a match where Jacob tries to win the title. I think it would be a match where Jacob is just trying to hurt Cody, and then Cody has to go to that dark place like they always talk about when he gets aggressive, because you're going to have to. You have the Samoan werewolf, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. He is, I mean, Jacob Fatu is I mean, people say what they want to say about him. This is America. You can do that. But at the end of the day, the dude does do work in a ring, and he does it very well, and he makes it exciting. And I could see that leading to the Randy Orton feud, and then rounding it off with Roman coming back, and Cody did everything he possibly could to have to do that. And then Roman knows that he's been beat by Cody. He can be beat by Cody, and that there was only one group that he ever ran with that gave him the dominance that Roman Reigns is, and that is the Shield. So in my perfect world, that is how we would get the Shield back into it. And notice there was no Daniel Bryanson in that one. He's going to stay in AEW, and he's going to wither away because he thinks he needs to be fucking bamboo shooting son of a gun, table breaking son of a bitch out there bleeding everywhere. When he doesn't, he's Daniel Bryanson. Jesus Christ, the dude has a fantastic catalog of matches.
Yeah.
We don't need to see you put your body through this like this anymore, man. Like we want Daniel Bryanson to be a household name in the next few years, a backstage person that we know, oh, that's a Daniel Bryanson story right there. You can tell he has his impact on it, things like that. So I think that's how we could get to the possibility of that. I know there's a lot of moving parts in that theory, and but the concrete thing in that theory, I do believe, is exactly what Jones is saying, and I do think that it could quite possibly be Jacobs, him and Cody going against each other. I think you could safely say that you're gonna get at least a 4-star match out of that, out of 5 stars, just because Jacob is good and so is Cody. Cody knows how to wrestle with another person in that ring, no matter their style, no matter what. He knows what he does, and his style does work well with others. But Jacob really right now, if they're gonna keep pushing Solo as the leader and Solo as the one, they really need to figure out how to make Jacob look controlled by Solo in some way without it being like overdone. You know what I mean?
I might have an answer.
Let's hear it, Grun.
So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, like, if that is the plan, why would Solo be okay with? Because it's like Solo, like, there's no guarantee. You're not at the point where Nick Aldis is gonna do whatever you say. No,
True.
Okay. Now, and besides, like, doesn't like Solo, no matter how much you think you're in control, you're not. You're just pissing off Cody. Cody's the one in control here.
Yeah.
But what if, and I think there is one more qualifying matchup for the Money in the Bank ladder match for SmackDown. I think I think it's 3 for each show, and I think SmackDown only has 2 confirmed.
Okay.
Solo Sikoa enters in a qualifier, or has Jacob Fatu or whoever enter, and then they tell Nick Aldis, hey, I don't want to be in the match. Give my spot to Solo. Or they go in, they do the ladder match, and then they say, Solo, here's the briefcase. It is yours. I relinquish the contract to you. But here is what I was also thinking. Solo has shown that he does not think he's through. He's like, destruction, destroy, kill Paul Heyman. It's like, okay, Solo. And I wouldn't say this, but Solo, Roman was able to keep the locker room away from him by fear. Yeah. People are not afraid of you. You're pissing them off. You are angering them. You are making enemies. Roman made enemies, sure, but then he beat them. He didn't kill them because that was only going to piss them off more. Because every time he put someone on the shelf, they came back loaded for bear, ready for war. You are not putting people on the shelf. You're just pissing them off. Solo, you're going to get yourself killed one way or another.
Oh, damn. Grun is coming out. I love it, Grun, because you are hitting on the right spots with that. There is a huge difference between the family leadership through Roman and the family leadership through Solo. And you know, as much as when we had Roman, as much as I I disliked some of his tactics and things like that, you had to respect it because, like you said, he did keep the locker room at a distance. He kept them at a respectable. They knew who the king of the mountain was. They knew who was up there, and they knew that it was a heavy, heavy task to take that man off of that mountaintop. And right now, Solo, you're not presenting yourself in that way. You're presenting yourself in, as you said, and House brought up on another show, as the spoiled brat who just wants what they want when they want it. And you can't have that when you have these monsters of men all fighting for only a few slots of champion. There's not an endless amount of championships. There's only a few. And to be the top and to be the best and to demand the best out of everybody, it's a fiery fucking road you got to walk down, and you got to start some even more fires on the side of that fiery road just to keep it going. And here we go. We got Hypocrisy Jones coming in saying Roman is still my champion, and Grun acknowledges him.
Roman's still my tribal chief. He ain't not Solo. Solo, nah, you demanding that people acknowledge you. Roman earned it.
Yeah, and that's from the Grunmeister. So get your shit together, Solo. Don't come at us though. That spike you do, I don't want it. I really don't want it. It looks painful and it looks aggressive. Well, I would like to ask you before we head on out, because we are 15 minutes before Monday Night Raw, and we cannot just wait. We really can't. Hey, Grun, I got
a new resub from my buddy.
Yeah,
Elks.
Thank you very shout much that out, man.
46 months in a row. Thank you very much, Elks. I greatly appreciate the love, brother.
That's awesome, Elks. Way to support our brother Grun over here. He give you the old A. You gotta love it. You gotta love the fandom, and
oh yeah,
we love Grun's community. So always be, just come in, have some fun. We can all have a good time. We can all have some laughs and some great times. But let me get you back into this. What do we see, if anything, from the Wyatt family? The Wyatt six.
I think we're going to see another video package. I think we're going to see another pre-recorded interview between, I think, Uncle Howdy. And my hope is that it's going to be another member.
I'm so glad you said that.
That's okay, because now I do like the idea of continuous video package or interviews with therapy sessions between Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas. I think that's good too. But you have wrestlers in Joe Gacy,
yes,
Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross who have really not. First, Joe Gacy's just debuting. He's just been called up. So this is your chance to introduce a new wrestler to the Monday Night Raw audience. Dexter Lumis, this is your chance to tell people hey, he can do more than just the creepy stalker psychopath killer. And this is your chance to show everyone that Nikki Cross could do a lot more and was being held back.
Yes. I'm 100 buying everything you're saying, because that's exactly where my thoughts went.
Those are the people I would hope for. I wouldn't be surprised if I hope they go down this route, but I would not be surprised if the next one is Eric Rowan, because Eric Rowan wouldn't how they go from Bo to Eric. Eric, if you've seen him on any Bray Wyatt tribute show or when he has talked about Bray Wyatt, he has a very deep personal, emotional connection to Bray.
Yeah.
So it's Bray did a lot for the people for everyone in the Wyatt family. Very true. And everyone that worked with him spoke nothing but great things about him.
Yeah.
So that would definitely make sense. But I personally am hoping that it's Dexter Lumis, because I have not heard him speak since he was Samuel Shaw in
Mhm.
TNA. And that was over 10 years ago, I think, or close to 10 years ago at this point.
So Dexter is definitely a intriguing character in this.
It is. He is,
This
yeah.
whole thing. I personally think that he's going to be one of my favorites out of it. I honestly, I love what you're saying, and I'm 100% there, because I think that that's exactly what they should do, because then you're portraying Uncle Howdy as more than just a mysterious figure. He's
Right.
actually like a manipulator. He knows how to turn up the pain, the sorrow, and then those wrestlers turn it into pure violence, nightmarish violence. So I'm there for that. I love it. And like I was saying with Dexter, I don't even need him to talk. Uh, all I need him to do is when he's sitting across, if they do it this way, he's sitting across from Howdy. Howdy says whatever it is to try to drive that nerve, try to strike it, and his facial expressions change. And then Howdy laughs every time he does it, because he knows he's getting to him, because that face is changing. He doesn't even have to hear the words. And with Eric, like, I need to see him just be a mess. I need to see him almost look like he's falling apart. And that's why his violence is so nightmarish. That's why, because all of this pain is just driving him into something, because the one man who stood up for him and made sure him and his brother did what they could do in that Wyatt family is gone. He's no more. He's just a memory. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but I'm trying to bring it to a reality standpoint where they're trying to bring this. They're the ones who brought the reality into this story by continuing the Bray talk. They're the ones who are saying, hey, this is how we're going to get over this for you, for us, for the entire wrestling world. We're going to, it's in your face. He looked at Bo Dallas and said, how do you feel? How did you feel when your brother died? Who the fuck writes that? And you want to talk about emotion, how we got emotional earlier?
Yeah.
Tell me that did not send chills down your spine. Like, I was like, don't do that. Leave Bo alone.
There's one thing that is apparent with WWE's being, and I do believe that there are still writers, and I believe that there are writers involved with this. And these writers, these are not the writers that went to college and have, oh look, I have a bachelor's and master's degree. No, these are writers that have been fan writing stuff since they were teenagers. These are people that have been writing stuff, trying to get it like constantly, every week, every month. They were trying to get their name into the business because they didn't care about a degree. They didn't care about going to college. They cared about writing stories and bringing those stories to people's eyes. These people know how to write a story. These people are being allowed to do their job, allowed to work with creative minds and help, or maybe not so creative minds, and help them find their creativeness, help them find their character, help them find their character's motivations, their passions, what drives them. This is the absolute best version of WWE I have seen since the Ruthless Aggression era. I know you may not agree with the Ruthless Aggression era being great. I would call it great, but that's because I also was not allowed to watch during the Attitude Era.
I will say that the Ruthless Aggressive era was third favorite of mine.
Okay.
It's very important, and it
Yeah.
was a very good era and brought us great matches. I during that era, I went to my first pay-per-view. It was Bash at the Great American Bash back in the day when they took over WCW. So I see what you're saying there. The Attitude Era, I mean, that's near and dear to my heart because it took me out of the normal, just good old boy wrestling era Ooh, look at me. I'm the Taskmaster. Shut up, Taskmaster, you moron. Anyways, yeah, don't get me started on that. I could go down a whole
I
rabbit
will
hole
not.
on those
I will
guys.
not.
But yeah, I see what you're saying, and I really like it. I like how you painted that picture, how this needs to be a continuation, like an Uncle Howdy's therapy session.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. I love it. Um, so fans, we are 6 minutes outside of Raw, so we are gonna wrap up this. Grun, do you have any more previous Raw? Anything you need to tap into before the fans get ready for their this week's Raw?
Just one more thing. The Liv Morgan Judgment Day storyline it's I think it's getting really, really good. I
Mhm.
am very much looking forward to Rhea Ripley coming back, putting away the happiness that she has now received from being married to now Buddy Matthews.
Mhm.
Putting that aside, bringing out the rage and killing Liv Morgan. And you know what? Kill Dom too. But Dom, you can use this way to kill him. Tell him I'm not your mommy anymore. You're out of the Judgment Day.
Oh yeah, that would destroy him.
Yes.
No, I agree with you on that. Definitely, that's a storyline to be checking out, fans. Especially if you're into like really good writing and just like them hitting nerves of everyday life things that could happen. But check that out because this is going to be amazing when she comes back. And I must say, before we take off, for AEW news, friends and fans out there, if you know her, you love her, Britt motherfucking Baker is finally fucking back, and I couldn't be happier. It is that's another thing you've done right, bringing her back to the fucking fold because Britt Baker is fucking phenomenal. And anybody out there, if you're a wrestling fan, I would definitely check her out. Uh, mark my words. Oh,
Okay.
will do. They are marked, Jones. I don't know what words we're marking, but we will definitely mark them.
Okay.
Grunmeister, we're getting ready for Raw. We are 4
Yeah.
minutes outside. Can you let these lovely fans know where they can find your beautiful face?
You can find me on Twitch streaming most nights at Grunmeister at twitch.tv/Grunmeister. I'll either be playing Call of Duty or probably be jumping back into Elden Ring.
Elden
Either
Ring
way,
gets them
I have
fired.
to frustrate myself somehow, some way.
we, we love it, Grun. We love the fact that you're out there doing your thing, playing the video games, getting your fans all grunned out. There you go. We got to grun out. Fans, you know me, you know my face. You've seen me before. You've seen the work I do. You've seen the people I work with. You have the In Your House crew, one of the best podcasting crews out there. And me and this guy, we're a part of them. Oh, yeah. Suck it. Yeah, DX. I'm not standing up. My back's a little messed up from this weekend. But anyways, oh wait. It's your favorite person, Grun.
Jesus.
Paul Baseball.
Paul. He
Oh.
actually, I was playing solos in Verdansk one time. He successfully stream sniped me into my lobby, and he landed with me at prison. I'm just like beating person because I'm like, I don't care. You're here to kill me. I hear the voice, I see the name in game chat. It's like, what the? You act like.
This
He's a
sounds
very
like a
nice guy.
thing.
He's a very nice guy, not very good at Call of Duty.
That's awesome. Fans, go check out everything Grun's doing on his channel. Check us out here every Monday at 7 p.m., where me and Grunmeister break down 3 of our favorite topics from the previous Raw that we want to talk to. And we hope you jump in with us and you talk to us about what you want to talk about with Raw, because everything can change on this show. At the drop of a dime, if you say something in the chat, it can change the conversation. So come join us, have some fun. Always catch our friend Hypocrisy Jones doing all the things he does out there. He does a stand-up show on Thursdays with the Kokomo Press out at Cooper's Pub in Kokomo, Indiana. Go hang out with them and have some fun. Other than that, you can go check out the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon. Go check out his website, go check out his socials and see where he's at coming up, and go check him live. And as for me, I am the voice. You catch me here, you catch me on the Sunday house parties, and you catch me hanging out with my friends, having fun. And stay tuned. Keep us in check, because we are going to be dropping all of the content that we captured over the weekend in the next coming up days, weeks. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have some fun. And why don't you go have some fun with Raw? We thank you all for joining us, and we absolutely love the fact that you come in here and give me and the old Grunmeister some things to talk about and some things to do. So on that note, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
What's up, household? My name is Alakon the Concept House. These are my co-hosts, Hypocrisy Jones and the voice, Josh Joseph. And we're getting ready to give you a banger of a podcast. Yes, the In Your House podcast.